the other question that I had in regards to items 9 and 10 on your letter regarding the pond in the front yard.
Yes.
And the pond being aerated.
Yes.
Since it's underground, do those need to be stricken then from the letter? Since it's an underground detention pond?
Yes.
And then in terms of the plans, the one thing I'm a little bit concerned with is the grading on the property lines on the outside of the property. For instance, the south side, your back to curb elevation is roughly, it looks like it's about 610, 611, and the grade falls off. So technically that area will be draining off site, which is not allowed. Usually I know on a grading plan there's a typical cross-section of how you handle grading on the property line. I know these aren't final engineering plans. I just want to make sure that that's addressed as we move forward. Because drainage is definitely the biggest, any civil engineer will tell you, that's the biggest issue you'll have during construction.
I agree and I understand, and as we move forward with the engineering consultant, we would address that. In this particular case, what I think we will do there is probably, like you said, have a little cross-section where we have probably just an overland swale that directs anything that's outside of the curb in that area east towards the existing wetland over there, where it can just drain over land and not onto the neighbor's property.
The other question I had the fire hydrant at the west side of the building, I'm not going to pretend to be a fireman or anything of that nature, but tucking it behind the dumpster enclosure doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me.
That's a mistake. We'll fix that. Thank you.
And then is the boulevard entrance, is that one way in, one way out? Or are you allowed to pull in and pull out of both entrances? Or is it going to be a one-way?
It's one way in, one way out.
That's all I had, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Mr. Galopsi.
The chair. Thank you for choosing the city of Taylor to come in here to build this. I do have two questions. The units, they come furnished?
They do not. We can provide some furniture if families need it close hand, but quite honestly, I usually recommend families bring whatever they possibly can from their home, just so they can feel like they're at home. The best analogy I can give you is how many times we've been out to a really nice resort. It's great sleeping in a different bed, but you love getting home and sleeping in your own bed. And that's what these residents like as well too. They love sleeping in their own bed. So I usually highly recommend they bring as much furniture as possible. But for sometimes they don't have that opportunity. And if they need, we can provide furniture for them to use, absolutely. And it's all brand new furniture. Yep.
And through the chair, now, does someone pay into this and they can end their life there? Or is it a monthly payment? How does that work?
It is month by month. It's a 30-day contract, so they can end it. They give us a 30-day notice. They can end it at any point in time. We never really had anybody move out just to move out, and we can take care of them till end of life care. So usually it's the last apartment they'll ever have to move into.
That's all I have to think.
Thank you, Mr. Galopsi. Mr. Cochran.
I have no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Cochran. Mr. Stewart.
If I may, Mr. Chair, on the variances, Laura, I just want to make sure on item 7 that we're on the same page as we move forward. The one-bedroom unit, is that a 97 square foot variance?
Yes,
And then the two-bedroom is a 93 square foot variance?
correct.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Anything else from the board? I'll go to the audience.
Through the chair.
Yes, Mr.
I
Stiles.
just want to say, Mr. Simeon's questions are fantastic, and I'm glad you raised those, but your explanation on that really help clarify a lot of that, the smaller unit for the people, you know, not to get sidetracked or this or that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because that does bring a lot of light to it for me, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stiles. Mr. Johnson? You want to step up, sir?
Hi, Charlie Johnson. I have no problem with this. I just learned about it just a couple days ago. My concern is I got bombarded today with phone calls from the people that live just north of this. They're concerned because they were here the last meeting where it was tabled and they weren't able to express their opinion in person, not on a phone, not through the computer. And I was just, all day long, I was bombarded. I'm asking that it be postponed until one more time, just to see if we can have an open meeting where people are allowed. That's my request. One other question is, would this would not come to city council? It
Yeah.
will?
It will.
It will.
It will.
They're PUDs, it's a legislative act.
Okay, that's right. Okay, and then another comment. I do appreciate all your questions. Very good questions. Thank you. But that's my request.
Thank you, Charlie. Now, it's my understanding that all of this will be forwarded to city council.
Yes.
Yes. And through the chair, I just want to, I got bombarded also today with emails from 8 or 9 residents that live in Coach Light. They're opposed, strongly opposed to this development. The main reason was the natural woods there, the natural woodland. They don't want to see that go away. They were also worried about the traffic, which I believe that was addressed in the letter from Road Professional Services. They also had concerns about stormwater runoff and drainage issues. Of course, every development has to sign a stormwater maintenance agreement. We go by Wayne County standards on stormwater, so that will also be addressed. There was also comments made that this is a closed meeting, but per the governor's emergency order, City Hall is closed to the public. Planning Commission meetings, just like the City Council meetings, are necessary to conduct city business. The City of Taylor has implemented several methods to allow public viewing and comment by any interested party, to include live streaming on the city website, real-time public comments on the agenda, also via the website, and live broadcast on 2 cable channels, real-time email during the meeting. They're asking for it to be postponed. The developer has submitted an application, paid fees, and turned in his plans. He is also entitled to due process. That's something you also want to think about. The removal of trees, like any other development in the city, the City of Taylor requires a tree permit on any parcel of land over 2 acres. The City of Taylor is still a long member of Tree City USA. This is not a city project, it is a private development project.